It's me, Carl Johann Schroeder. I'm talking to you from the magical forest of deserving. We're going to talk about deserving now because it is such an important topic that I continue to understand better and I want to share with you. I am a spiritual teacher by passion. Every one of you, every one of us has a gift to share on the planet Earth. Right now, though, the Earth is suffering, society is suffering in a lot of false negative belief systems. No one's bad. This was intentional, though it didn't have to go so far. The point is that as we grow in consciousness, at some point, we need to be able to sort out what's true from what is a lie. And you notice that the narcissists, the dictators, the demagogues, the manipulators in the world, why do they lie so much? If they're really so powerful as they claim, why wouldn't they just tell the truth about what they're doing and do it and impress everyone? But no, the really negative, destructive people in the world, they are constantly lying. Why? Because they don't know what's true anymore. They are so confused. They are so entangled in the false negative belief systems. That is what's really running the world. That people talk about a conspiracy. No, it's not. People are not that organized. People are compelled by their belief systems. If you have a positive belief system, you're going to be compelled in a positive way, and you'll have moments of great lucidity and working with the living, loving universe that wants to help you have the most wonderful life and help your friends and everyone around you have a wonderful life. No, it's the negative, false beliefs. That is what our challenge is in the world today. All of the problems you see, the wars, the pollution, the poverty, the disease, all of those would easily be solved practically overnight if people just master the false negative belief systems. So look, we got to talk about deserving because this is such an important concept. This is at the heart of any kind of striving for success, desiring something, hoping you get it, or being hurt if you don't get it. Any kind of manifesting, it's a big thing in the world, all these techniques for manifestation. It's understandable, though. That is the first goal of any consciousness, to understand how to create its own reality, how to have what you want to experience. Well, this is so important because the false negative belief systems that we're learning to discern, because obviously, like I was saying, the dictators, the narcissists, if they were really powerful, they would tell the truth and they would help people who need help. Instead, they're constantly lying. And they're hurting, they're attacking the weakest members of society. That's not a sign of strength, okay? There's fundamental disempowerment going on. That is a quality of false negative beliefs, the beliefs that aren't about how the universe really works. A metaphor I like is, look, the universe and your life, it's like a car. You're learning to drive it. Now, if you have this sadistic driving instructor who constantly tells you the wrong instructions, you say, I want to turn right. And they say, well, then turn the steering left. And you do. And before you can even think this isn't right. This guy, this driving instructor is just wrong. They're yelling at you. They're shaming you. This is what negative beliefs do. They gang up on you really fast. You know how quickly overwhelmed you can become by a negative thought, and you feel really bad, and you feel really disempowered. That's the common denominator of false beliefs. They disempower you. So everyone starts out as a victim of false beliefs, and then further down the line, yes, people become really mean, cruel, manipulating, dominating. That's what gets associated with negativity. But that's just the black and white, good and bad thinking of negativity itself. One of the characteristics of negativity is it's constantly making these absolute extremes. This is right, this is wrong, this is deserving, this is not deserving, this should be rewarded, this should be punished. And then, of course, the really high judgmental people, they always try to figure out how are they in the privileged category. But that's just not how the universe even works. So we've got to make a distinction, because right now, today, the kind of false negative beliefs that society is largely running on, it's rewarding the sociopath. It's rewarding those narcissists. Why? Because, they talk about in society, yeah, that person was so hard to work with. They were a bully. They were mean. But boy, they got a lot done, didn't they? There's such a materialism. There's such a worship of stuff and money. And it's not just the obvious, excesses and things that people hoard. Some people hoard spiritual wisdom. I did that for many years because my passion is learning about how the universe really works and sharing that knowledge. So for a long time, I was caught in the false beliefs, feeling disempowered and wanting to hoard spiritual understanding. You can hoard in a materialistic obsessive, insecure way. You can hoard whatever you think will help you in life, but that very act of living that way shows that you're not connected with the real universe. The real living, loving universe, get this, it's just so different from the systems of competition, of you've got to earn your deserving, you've got to be good enough, it's like, and then you look at the world and it's like, why do those people over there, they are so monstrous, they are so abusive, they're so dumb, uneducated, and yet they have so much success, they have followers, they have power, they have money, and they're gloating over it, they think they're the greatest. Why? Because there's no earned deserving. Look, we got to make a distinction here, okay? We have realities. We are a consciousness. Life is a consciousness journey. What does that mean? It means there's no solid reality out there. The reality shifts very quickly depending on your state of being, your state of mind, your state of consciousness, what you believe, what you expect, your assumptions, all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of boil it down to belief systems. That's one way of expressing it. You could also say your worldview, your attitudes, your assumptions of models of reality. Whatever it is, it's how your consciousness is dealing with the universe, thinking that it works. So life is a journey of consciousness. You know that if you're in the wrong frame of mind, if you're in a bad mood, you can't function. You can't make good decisions. You'll be accident prone. You'll get into fights. You think things are against you. But if you're in the good frame of mind, like this is why people are so into meditation, because it generally can help people get to a better, more positive state of mind. But if you're in a positive state of mind, you're creative, you're loving, you're loved, like the universe becomes magical, synchronicities come to you, there's a flow. It's amazing. How do we get to those states and how do we stay in those states? Well, it turns out it's automatic. It's automatic. Just the very fact that you are a consciousness that exists, you totally deserve to have whatever experience you want. You're in charge, okay? That sadistic driving instructor I mentioned as a metaphor, as a symbol for what negative beliefs are like, they always tell you to do the wrong thing and then they blame you for it. They shame you for it. Whereas positive beliefs, they would tell you, like, oh, you want to do this? Do this. This is how to drive. This is how to operate life. Life does come in with an instruction manual, by the way. It's basically you interacting with the present moment, being present. You will get instructions. You will get guided and provided by the universe. So look, we need to contrast. There's a negative way of looking at life coming from negative beliefs. The fundamental thing about negative beliefs is that it's a consciousness choice to say the universe is against me. Things are against me. I need to focus on blockages, getting rid of what's in my way. The positive outlook, the positive way to live in the universe is to think the universe is my friend. It wants me to have a wonderful life. Hey, I'm a part of it. I am a form of it. Just like you want every organ in your body to be healthy, the universe wants you to be healthy. So positive outlook, the universe is for me. It's here to help me. If I have any problems, I can ask for help. I can find out what the solution is. I don't have to get stuck on anything. The negative approach is all the beliefs, the attitudes, the assumptions, expectations that say, no, the universe is full of enemies. It's out to stop you. Think of all those things you'd like to do, and then you can't do them right away, right? Negativity is very petulant, peevish, like a little kid demanding, like, I should be able to do this now, and I can't, so the universe is against me. It's very self-fulfilling prophecies, too. Now, in the positive side, life is a flow, a beautiful flow of the best thing to enjoy at each moment. You don't always know exactly what the best thing to do in each moment is, but you can be in a relationship with the universe, with all the parts of your soul and your spiritual friends. Somebody's going to know what to do at every moment, and you have a big piece of the puzzle too. So life is really meant to be this wonderful, joyful kind of community experience of solutions. So deserving. Okay, let's talk about the basic difference here. In the negative viewpoint, what? You have to earn something. You have to be good enough to get that. And then it drives you crazy because you see all these people who weren't good enough to get that. What is their secret? What's going on? Was it sheer willpower? And this is where it's favoring the narcissist and the negativity. People just give up. They're like, I tried to follow the rules and I lost, and then some jerk comes along messing up everything for everybody, and they get instantly overnight. You get frustrated. Like I played by the rules and I seem to lose while these losers win. So what's happening is, as a consciousness, you fundamentally deserve anything you want to experience. The source of all life, there is a source of all life. You call it God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Creator, whatever you want to call it. There's a transcendent, living, loving universe. It will give you any experience you want. I like to say the universe wants to love you in two ways. First of all, the universe will give you everything you need to be happy. It always does. Trust it. Somewhere in your life, if you're in the right mood, if you can see it the right way, everything's available for you to be healthy, happy, successful, forever. The second way the universe will love you is to reflect your beliefs, to give you experiences of what you believe. Because as a higher consciousness, maybe not the highest, but higher than animals that are wonderful, but animals follow their instincts. You don't have to follow your instincts. You can get great intuitions and then still go against them. You may actually go against your intuitions and your instincts for a good reason, because I can actually manifest something faster than evolution, which can take millions of years. So it's a good thing to have free will. So we're talking about deserving. We're talking about how to be successful, how to get what you want in life. First of all, to understand, when you desire something in life, the solution's already there. You wouldn't even conceive of wanting something if there wasn't a way for you to get it. The universe wants you to have any experience you would like. Just ask and receive. The universe will give it to you. So there is no earned deserving. It makes zero sense to compare your life to somebody else's life. Say, when does somebody deserve something? When were they bad and they should have been punished? None of that makes any sense. Every life, human, whatever, can be staged. Anything can be staged in the physical reality. There is a physical reality, and then there's the energetics inside of the physical reality. I like to call reality is empty containers. Basically, physical reality, it's only as good as what you do with it, okay? It's just tools, okay? It's you using the tools that can put things to a good use or not. So it's kind of like empty containers. You pour your energy into a situation, and then you can use it for good ends or bad ends. So it's what you do with the reality that's real, not the reality itself. Reality, your life, the world, it's like a movie, honestly. It can be completely staged. I mean, movies, people can make any kind of movie they want, right? It wouldn't make sense to try to legislate like, oh no, we can only have happy movies, like sad movies. That's just against the law. That's morally wrong. God should punish you. No, the fact is, people are going to make whatever movies they want to make. Find the movies that work for you. This is an important metaphor. Find the places in life, the people you want to be with that work best for you. Places and people that aren't right for you because underneath they have beliefs that aren't right for you, just let them go. The best way to let something go is to open up your hands, take hold of something that you do like. You let go things that you don't like, not by focusing, like get rid of. You can't get rid of something by constantly trying to push it away. You can let things go by holding on to, reaching for things that you do like. They will replace the old stuff. So look, the universe will give you any experience you want. Really, seriously, like you want world peace? Bingo, you could have world peace. You want world war? You want to be the dictator of the last one standing? Yep, you could do that. Anything. It's not that the universe wants to see you suffer. People can make really poor decisions. I want to be, the dictator. I want to be the last one standing in the final war. The universe is like, well, I laid out, in the first way I like to love you. I gave you all the tools, everything you need for a really wonderful, happy life. But if you insist on believing that, for whatever reason you think that war and such would be great, okay, you can experience that. So anything can be staged. It is absolutely meaningless to have any judgments, any of the kind of absolute judgments, condemning judgments, saying like this person's bad, this person's good, this action is good, this action is bad, rewards and punishments. All of that is false and negative. And yet we have a whole society built on that stuff, right? It's very hard to imagine just, I could ask for anything I want. Well, why didn't I have it before? Because you had the false negative beliefs. It really is that simple. False negative beliefs. Being told by a sadistic driving instructor the wrong way to drive your car, that's what's messing you up. You are inherently a consciousness that deserves any experience you want. All you have to do is be willing. So it's the willingness that makes all the difference. And this is where I'm saying I find it really troubling that modern society that doesn't have a complete spiritual understanding, this is spirituality, but it's also just how life works. It's energetics. It's whatever you want to call it, life system. The spiritual, natural understanding, it's what you need to have a good life. And there are all these people who they don't have a complete understanding. They have false negative beliefs about like competition, violence, intimidation, love, being kind. That just makes me exposed and manipulable. I mean, I got to be tough to get what I want. The less people have any conscience, the less people have any empathy, and the more they're willing to just say, I'm entitled, I should get things and you shouldn't, they can get it. The universe is not fundamentally judging people. They can make whatever kind of movie they want. Where's the justice in that? Well, the justice, don't worry about justice, okay? The system takes care of itself. The justice is that those people who live by cruelty, who live by domination, and they're willing to have the universe work out for them, so they get all the money and all the fame and all the power, but hey, they were really nasty. Well, at the energetic level, the real truth of the universe, your energy that you pour inside of situations, when the cast and crew are done shooting for the day, for the film, that's when the nasty stuff really comes up. And so there are a lot of people who the people who live by violence and cruelty, and they want to stage it as long as they can and look really good. And, other people may love them or hate them, but they think they're great. When they die in the afterlife, they get theirs. And it's terrible. What happens is they didn't realize all of the cruelty they were pushing out on other people, trying to make it look like I'm strong, other people, those are the ones that suffer, those are the ones who don't deserve to live and stuff like that. All the feelings they put on other people, you pick that energy up in the afterlife, in the spirit. It's not just an afterlife. See, there really isn't supposed to be an afterlife. There isn't supposed to be this segregation between I'm alive, I can stage whatever I want, ask for whatever I want, and the universe will give it to me. And then I die, and now I get all the energy that I dumped on other people, and I find out, I realize what a nice or mean person I was. Because it's not about being a good or bad person. The universe doesn't judge you that way. It's simply the consequences of your actions. If you are a hurtful person, if you are cruel to people, that's the energy you're going to get back. Whatever you put out, you're going to get back. And I'll make a diagram about this. The point is to realize there's no comparison between people. You can stage anything you want, and there's no point in judging. If anything, you want to have compassion for people. Because when you see somebody who's really nasty and dominating, and yet they're succeeding and they're getting lots of money, which, they're rewarding themselves and they think it's great, and they think, I'm the most wonderful person and all this stuff, even no matter how many crimes they do. You don't want to wish them harm, because the harm you wish on them is what's going to come back to you. You're actually, basically, it's like everybody is living in their own bubble of energy. And we can see each other out through our bubble of energy. But when we react to somebody, that is our own energy, and it bounces around back and forth. So if you're afraid of people and you pump out a lot of judgmental energy, you say you're a bad person, you don't deserve the things you have, you need to go to jail, then that energy is going to bounce back at you. And then when you least expect it, some person or just negative thoughts in your head will be attacking you, saying you're a bad person, you don't deserve things, you need to be punished, and you're breaking the law and all this stuff. And like I said, it's the people who are trying to live by some rules, trying to live by some ethics, they end up the losers. The people who are trying to play by the rules, they end up the losers. And the people who are just hey, I am lawless, I don't care, I have no conscience, I just ask for and demand whatever I want and I get it. They're staging a film, and they're really miserable inside, and they're going to face all that misery in the afterlife, but it's all staged, and you don't want to be jealous of that stuff. You don't want to compare yourself to that stuff at all. So here's how the real universe really, really works, okay? Totally different focus, totally different from the negative domination culture, I call it. The way the universe really works, like I said, the universe, first of all, wants to give you everything you need to be happy. And secondly, we'll give you experiences and examples of whatever your beliefs are so that you can see them and correct them if you like. So the universe, you ask for the experiences you want, and the universe will give them to you. You have self-worth. There are two main concepts here, self-worth and self-esteem. Self-worth is your fundamental deserving, that you are a consciousness, you exist. Just ask and it will be given to you. And then it's your job to align with it, to receive it, okay? A lot of times people ask for not so nice things, but then they stay in a negative belief state they can't receive. It's like, I asked, but then, it's coming from over here, but I'm holding out my hands here and blaming people and getting mad. You're not giving me what I ask. It's right over here. Loneliness, for example, it's a great emotion. A lot of emotions are actually positive if you understand how they can help you transform energy and get back into a happier life state. Loneliness is actually the signal that you're not receiving somebody that is there for you. There's love for you and you're not receiving it. So you're feeling a lack and you have this longing, this loneliness. You know that lonely is not simply cured by getting to the right party. You can be lonely in the middle of a party. You can be really happy and completely self-content and not the least bit lonely all by yourself because you're in connection with the universe. So loneliness, all the emotions, they're signals of something that you need to course correct, you need to change, and then suddenly you'll find the universe is right there with everything I need to be happy. So this concept of deserving, what happens is, first of all, self-worth. Every being, every consciousness can ask for whatever it wants to experience, and the universe will give it to them. Even if they're hurting themselves, well, the universe trusts you to realize, I'm hurting myself, I want to love myself, I want to be a good creator to my creation, let's fix the false negative beliefs that cause me to crash my car instead of drive it correctly. So second concept, though, is self-esteem. And this is the love, the willingness you have to receive from the universe based on making yourself happy with your own progress, with your own self-development. There are rules, there are goals in life, but it's all set by you. Okay, it doesn't come from society, people saying like, you got to earn this and you got to please these people and you got to work so many years over here. No. Okay, all of that, it can still be a worthwhile life, but you need to tweak the belief systems. It's not about earning deserving. You can have anything you want, but you aren't willing to have everything until you reach certain personal development goals. That's why you can have somebody who, like, they were obnoxious and then they learned to be a really wonderful person and, oh my gosh, they're so deserving, they have so many gifts to offer, and they can still remain unknown and unrewarded because, why? Because first of all, they need to be willing to realize like everything is based on self-esteem. If you're happy with your development, then you want to open up to the universe and say, universe, give me more. I'm happy with myself. I'm willing to receive more. For example, a lot of people, people who win the lottery, who have some sudden luck, they can destroy themselves very quickly. So do you want to be a person who is willing to receive from the universe, but you've got a lot of nastiness and negative beliefs running you, and you run a horrible life, and then in the afterlife you have to get all that energy and you suffer? There are hells, and the whole idea of heaven and hell is based on the energetic reality that if you make cruel decisions, that cruelty affects you. If you make kind, loving decisions, hey, you pick up on that energy. The energy is bouncing around in your own energy bubble. So it's all about you build your self-esteem. You decide what kind of person you want to be before you're even born. You decide, how do I want to develop myself in this life? And you set your own incentives. You say like, okay, universe, I'm going to allow myself a certain level of success, but when I've achieved my goals, when I'm proud of myself, when I've become the more kind, honest, listening, caring person that I wanted to be, then I'm going to ratchet up my willingness. Yeah, universe, give me more of what you would give me for free anyway. So you're the one who's setting the goals. You're the one who's deciding when you deserve. And this is why if you don't understand deserving, you can get stuck on society, and you can get stuck on trying to please other people and think like, oh, I've got a great product, I've got something to offer the world, but hey, I got to advertise and I get more people to choose me, and I get competitive and I get jealous and I get insecure, and people work so hard to get goals that they could just have for free from the universe, providing that they're happy with themselves, that they've achieved the goals that they want to achieve. So really, the dominating, cruel people in the world who get all the success, they're a kind of friendly enemy. One spiritual teacher, Lazarus, called them the friendly enemies. Basically, you want to have some compassion. These people who are willing to have success, even though it's going to destroy them, because they're so full of negative beliefs, they don't understand how life really works. So they're going to live a destroyed life just to kind of demonstrate that, yeah, you could have whatever you want. There is no earned deserving. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to, be measured by society. You don't have to please anyone else. Just please yourself, and then become more willing to receive what the universe wants to give you for free all the time anyway. So all of the manifestation techniques, people want to succeed. People need to succeed, okay? The whole idea of like being driven for success and trying to figure out like, how can I get this to happen and that to happen? That is natural, okay? Let's not judge it. It's completely natural to be a consciousness. I want to understand, how can I experience whatever I want to experience? Understand the universe will give you any experience you ask for. You need to believe that asking would work, and you need to be willing to let yourself receive, because you're happy enough that you've become the person you want to be. You trust yourself. I'm not going to just destroy myself, universe, if you give me lots of money now, or friends or whatever. It's not going to go to my negativity. It's going to go to my positive connection with my own spirit, with my soul, with my higher self. That's how to earn the real deserving with yourself. The more you understand this, you can stop judging other people and stop being caught up in negative beliefs that mess you up and perpetuate themselves. Because you can have moments of lucidity. You can have moments of clarity of like, oh, if the universe really loves me and I'm a part of it, and it wants me to thrive, and life is this amazing, this force, this energy, this emergent property of existence. Like, I'm a child of the universe. I should be able to ask for whatever I want. And you may have beginner's luck and just ask and receive. And then things stop working, and you wonder, like, did I do something wrong? And that's when the negative beliefs will come in and say, like, oh yeah, you're a loser. You got to do what we say. You got to work harder. You got to fight the system. No, if you're struggling in any way, if you're fighting for justice, if you're doing power manifestation techniques, over and over, and like, I said my affirmations twice a day, but that wasn't enough, so 3 times a day, and don't let me think any negative thoughts. I got to stay positive. You can get into that toxic positivity where basically a person is just showing how insecure they are. They don't know how to just flow and let life give to them, let life work. You want to play, you want to have fun. The first goal of consciousness is learning how to succeed, how to have what you choose to experience. The second is to have a lot of fun, to play, to enjoy life. To see, it's that second one that would catch anybody who's saying, yes, universe, you can give me lots of wealth, and I'm going to be a nasty person anyway. They're not really having fun, okay? They can keep trying to redefine fun as like, ooh, I enjoy punishing people. I enjoy getting rid of bad guys. But it feels bad deep down. You want to trust your whole being. You want to trust your body sensations. You want to trust your emotions. You want to be a whole being, whereas negative beliefs are the disempowering, constantly segregating. It's like, these are the good feelings. These are the bad feelings. These are the good things to do. These are the bad things to do. These are the good people. These are the bad people. No, in the true positive belief system of the universe, everything is allowed and supplied. You're just experiencing your own energetic consequences. So I want to end on this concept, maybe do a little diagram here. Let me do a little diagram. I love diagrams. We want to get sort of a map of what's going on here. So you are a two-part being. You're a spiritual being who has perspective on your life and you want things to be wonderful. And then you're a physical human being or some other incarnated being who's sort of down here. And there's supposed to be a loving connection back and forth between the two parts of you. Sometimes you're at a higher perspective and like thinking positive thoughts or trying to change your thoughts to become more positive. And sometimes you're down here just reacting, like feeling what's going on. Basically, I like to refer to this as the spirit decider and the human experiencer. You're meant to be a creator at this level, choosing what you want to experience, and the universe always says yes. And then you go down here to the human level and see how that works for you. How does it work well or not? If it doesn't work well, then try something else. Don't get stuck on it. Negative beliefs will get you stuck on it, but you deserve to change as soon as something doesn't work for you. The trick is that between these two is the belief systems. So this is what's happening, is that these belief systems, this is how you experience anything. You have to, because there's only pure divine energy, this pure love of unconditional love of just whatever you want, dear consciousness, you can experience. And then you have to start understanding, how am I going to interpret things? How am I going to believe things work? How am I going to expect things? And that starts to create a reality experience. So there's a map of all the possible belief systems, all the possible shapes and sizes of beliefs, all the different lifestyles. That's a good way to think of it, the lifestyles. At the spiritual level, you make higher level decisions such as, I want to become a more kind, caring person. I'm going to go through the belief systems and I'm going to come out at the human level. Now I'm living inside of the belief systems. And I will have reactions to, I will have sensations about those beliefs, such as, if you believe the universe is against you, it's a dangerous place, you're not going to feel good, right? You're going to feel paranoid, embattled, scared. You're going to get angry. You're going to fight people. Someone approaches you, you're going to shoot first, ask questions later. It's very hard to work with somebody who's deep, deep, deep in a lot of negativity, thinks that everyone's against them. On the other hand, if you have positive beliefs, they let the truth of the universe through. They're like, oh, life is beautiful. And I feel compassion for anybody who is struggling, doesn't understand how good life can be. So what you need to understand is that if we all have some negative beliefs. Say there's some negative beliefs on this side, and some positive beliefs, like a nice tube that lets the energy through, versus the negative beliefs are just a jumble, a mess. We both have beliefs. We all have beliefs that we're working through, the good and the bad side. This is the whole sense of like an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other side, or the sense of like, the happy times in your life, they're coming from the positive world. It's a real world that's always there. And the negative times in your life, when you're having a bad time, you feel so bad because you're tuning into the universe through the negative beliefs. So look, what happens is the negative beliefs will perpetuate themselves by telling you lies that, those people are really out to get you and you got to like attack them before they attack you. And like I said, you're going to pump out this energy. And so there's this other person here and you got some negative beliefs that says there's your enemy. And so you pump out attack energy and judging energy, but that energy only bounces back at you. Everybody's in their own energy bubble. And then this other person, they can see you and it's like, oh my gosh, this person's attacking me. Well, they're my enemy. So they pump out attack energy and then it bounces back in their energy bubble. So people synchronize through the belief systems. You meet people who believe compatibly in some way. You're all reacting in your own energy bubble, reacting to your own energy bouncing back and forth, but you synchronize to beliefs. You can believe, it can look like it's a staged movie effect to look like, oh, this person's attacking this person and hitting them and this person here. And like they're really impacting each other, like they're really in the same room. You're never in the same room. You're in your own energy. So if you're believing false beliefs about deserving, and you are so hurt and frustrated because somebody who's really obnoxious has all this success and happiness and friends, maybe it's superficial, okay? Maybe deep down you know they can't, it can't be nice to be inside of them, okay? But and then you in comparison, you've worked hard on becoming a nice person and understanding how life works and how the world could be a really happy, healthy place, and yet you're not getting the success those other people have, and it can seem like the system is selecting for the narcissists and the sociopaths. And like I said, it can be if you think deserving is about, the judging, the rewarding, the punishments, all that stuff. You can get stuck in constantly pushing out this angry, frustrated, judging energy, and then it bounces back at you. You see these people, they're living in the echoes of their own judgmental energy, their thoughts, their feelings, their jealousy, their rage, their blame, their punishing, their fears, their all this stuff. It's bouncing around. It's always affecting them. What you want to do is let the stuff die down. Have a non-judging attitude. Like, just understand, believe, like, everything is between that person and the source. They asked for what they asked for, they got it, and then who knows what life lessons they're trying to learn. Everybody's different. There's no sense in comparing. You need to let things calm down and die down. Don't keep reacting to the outside world. This is one reason why meditation is so popular, because it gives your system a chance to calm down. I chose an experience. I want to think calmly about okay, I got into a belief attitude set in the world, people that match with that. How does it feel? I don't like it. I don't like being in the middle of a war. I don't like being in a culture that's highly competitive and judgmental and all this stuff. I want to be in a happier, healthier world. And the universe will say yes. And if you're happy with how you've developed yourself, you don't want to stay stuck in that reaction energy. All the survival reactions, all this stuff. This is one of the great victories of negativity, to convince you to use your negativity to fight negativity. So you keep pumping out negative energy and it keeps bouncing around and you're reacting to yourself. And then other people are reacting to themselves, and you're all in the same room sort of doing this synchronized dance, and you kind of reinforce the idea of there's one world we have to fight over. And I'm a nice person who believes in morals and ethics, and yet I can't seem to get ahead like these people who have no morals, no ethics, no empathy. They just ask for whatever they want. They're entitled, and they get it. It's not fair. Where is God? Well, God is there saying, hey, everybody, you can have a wonderful life, anything you want, but you decide when you're willing. So if some people are willing to be sociopaths, narcissists, and yet get all kinds of success, they can have it. Doesn't mean they feel good inside, but it's all staged. So I've said it enough ways, I think you're clear. You need to be happy enough with yourself so you have self-esteem and realize, okay, let's tap into more of my self-worth. Universe, I like how I've developed. I'm not going to misuse the gifts. Give me more of the success that you have for me. And the universe can often know better than you exactly what you want, but feel free to ask and then just be flexible. I like to say this or better. I want $1 million or just whatever amount of money I need to be happy. It's that kind of thing. So, learn to let the universe make good decisions for you, and realize everybody is just asking and receiving as much as they're willing to. Just build your willingness. So when you see that you're not getting what you want in life, don't try to manifest harder. Don't try to earn more work longer hours at work. Don't try to force it. That's a sign of failing in negative beliefs. No, natural life is effortlessly easy. If you're not getting the success you need to work on your beliefs. You need to calm your energy system down so you're not reacting to people and keeping the energy bouncing around in your bubble. You calm down, you'll start, just ask for help. Just ask, universe, help me to see where do I have false beliefs? Maybe it's around the materialism. Maybe it's this stuff Carl's talking about. It's I can't believe it. I could just ask for whatever I want and I would get it. Really? Without any earning and deserving? Yeah, you can have anything you want. You decide when you're ready, when you're willing to have a wonderful life, and just let the other people go. And the obnoxious people that are messing up your life, yeah, they're really there, but you can let them go. They don't have to be there anymore. When you open up and let go the things that don't belong with you, then your hands are open. You can receive what the universe has for you. You belong in wonderful places, communities where your skills are valued, where you are the answer to people's prayers and they're the answer to your prayers, where you send each other higher. There's a wonderful future for the earth in which people cooperate magically, mysteriously, more every day. They just discover, hey, life could be really good. So discover it for yourself, and life can change around you very easily.